Adolf Hitler promised a 1,000-year Reich, a powerful empire built on racial purity and conquest. For a brief time, German armies swept across Europe and Hitler seemed unstoppable. But this brutal regime, founded on arrogance and hatred, was doomed from the start. In reality, Hitler's Reich lasted only 12 years, collapsing in violence and ruin. Its downfall is a lesson in the dangers of unchecked power and delusional leadership. The seeds of destruction were sown by Hitler's overconfidence and refusal to listen to advice. His belief in his own infallibility led to catastrophic decisions that pushed Germany toward disaster. We'll explore the key moments that sealed Germany's fate: the invasion of the Soviet Union, the turning point at Stalingrad, the strain of fighting on multiple fronts, and Hitler's unraveling grip on reality. This is the story of how a dictator's dream of eternal glory ended in unprecedented catastrophe. Early in World War II, Germany's blitzkrieg tactics brought rapid victories across Europe. Poland fell in weeks, and France surrendered in just 6. These triumphs convinced Hitler of his own genius and bred dangerous overconfidence. The swift fall of France led many to believe German strategy was unbeatable. With most of Europe under his control, Hitler underestimated his remaining enemies, especially Britain and the United States. This arrogance blinded him to the realities of a global war. He began to see war as a contest of will, dismissing logistics and strategy. The intoxication of victory encouraged reckless risk-taking. This mindset set the stage for his most disastrous decision, invading the Soviet Union. Hitler believed another quick campaign would bring final victory, but he was about to face a foe unlike any before. Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941, was Hitler's greatest blunder. Driven by ideology and ego, he saw the war as a crusade for living space and against communism. His generals warned of the risks: vast distances, harsh winters, and a massive Red Army. But Hitler ignored them. Convinced the Soviets would collapse quickly, he launched the attack. At first, German forces advanced rapidly, capturing hundreds of thousands. But the Soviet Union did not break. Its people fought back with fierce determination. German supply lines stretched thin, and autumn rains turned roads to mud. Winter arrived and the Germans were unprepared. Engines froze, soldiers suffered. The Soviets counterattacked outside Moscow, halting the German advance. The dream of a quick victory was shattered. Germany was now trapped in a brutal war of attrition it could not win. After lost, morale shattered. The world saw the tide of war turn. From this point, Germany was on the defensive, its defeat inevitable. Stalingrad was only part of Germany's growing crisis. Hitler's ambition had led to a war on multiple fronts: east, west, and south. The Eastern Front consumed Germany's resources, while Allied forces advanced in North Africa and Italy. Allied bombers devastated German cities and industry, forcing Germany to defend on the home front. D-Day in June 1944 opened a new front in France, stretching German forces to the breaking point. Germany's economy and manpower could not keep up. The Allies drew on the vast resources of the US and Soviet Union. Hitler's plan to defeat enemies one by one had failed. Now Germany faced overwhelming opposition everywhere. The country was being squeezed from all sides. Collapse was only a matter of time. As Germany's situation worsened, Hitler's leadership became erratic and destructive. He distrusted his generals, overruled their advice, and insisted on suicidal, no-retreat orders. Paranoia consumed him, especially after a failed assassination attempt in July 1944. He purged the army, leaving only fearful yes-men around him. Hitler's health declined. He became isolated, obsessed with maps and imaginary armies. He raged at bad news, blaming others for failures caused by his own orders. The German war effort suffered as fantasy replaced strategy. In late 1944, Hitler gambled on the Battle of the Bulge. a failed last stand that wasted Germany's final reserves. As Allied armies closed in, Hitler was no longer a leader, but a delusional man presiding over ruin. The end was near. By spring 1945, the Third Reich was collapsing. Soviet and Western Allied forces closed in on Berlin. Hitler retreated to his bunker, isolated from reality and surrounded by loyalists. He issued frantic, meaningless orders to armies that no longer existed. Blaming everyone but himself, he refused to accept responsibility for Germany's destruction. As Soviet artillery pounded Berlin, Hitler prepared for his own end. He married Eva Braun, dictated a final testament, and ordered the destruction of what remained of Germany. On April 30, 1945, Hitler and Braun committed suicide in the bunker. A week later, Germany surrendered unconditionally. The 1,000-year Reich had lasted just 12 years, a warning to the world about the fate of tyranny and hate.